Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to look at the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chromes and Color Tattoos and see how they compare and wear against the Armani Eye Tints that I have a lot of experience with and that I have been using for maybe a year or so now. I got the Color Tattoos in my latest Ulta haul, which I will link below. I wanted to do this because when I was initially looking at the Armani Eye Tints, there weren't a lot of reviews out there, and there's still not. I want to tell you why people love these so much and why they spend what they do for these. I have gold ashes and cold copper. The packaging is lovely, and I find that I wear these in some form or fashion 3 to 5 times a week, whether it is alone or blending it in with another shadow or together, putting another shadow on top. I've even lined with it. They claim that these combine the purity of a powder with the staying power of ink and the feel of cream for 16 hours of staying power, and there are 12 shades. They retail for $39 for 22 ounces. Now don't freak out, I'm going to get into the comparison of the pricing and the sizes in a second. Okay, so I just swatched these. Here is gold ashes and here is cold copper, and I'm hoping that you can see them in the light. They have this lovely complex shimmer to them, but they're not over the top. I don't know if you can see, but I have the cold copper on now, and I wear this as a wash on the lid all the time for work, and it's a beautiful, easy shade to wear. I can take the wand directly to the lid and put it straight on there and then blend it out with my finger or a brush. It feels very cool when you first put it onto the eyelid, and there's a lot of slip to it. It blends out beautifully, almost as if you're blending a powder as it settles in and you have enough time to blend it, which is important. Some of the cream and liquid shadows set really quickly, and these give you just enough time to work with them before they set. You can wear them sheer, or you can build them up for more intensity. You can also layer them together. You can layer them with other shadows. They work very well with anything, really. How these look when you apply them to your eye is how they look all day long, and they last beautifully without creasing. I have worn these for 16 hours, and there is no creasing going on. I have worn them with a primer underneath and with just concealer as my primer. I always even out my eyelid just for discoloration and redness and just to even it out, and it's worked both ways without creasing, and I love that. Okay, so now let's talk about the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chromes. They have very similar packaging to the Armani. Okay, so that's kind of why I thought that they might be somewhat similar, and I've heard pretty decent things about these. They retail for $9.99 for 0.11 ounce. If you do the math, that's about $20 for the same amount of product that's in these. They look like they're the same size, but they're not. So in order to get the same amount, you're going to need 2 of these, which is $20. So it's still half the price, but it's not a fourth of the price like you think it is. Actually, I'm going to point out something right now that I was going to save for the end, but this was actually a beautiful demonstration. When I pull this out, do you see how much product is on here and how gloppy it is? I don't find these nearly as user-friendly as the, can you see that? I can't get in focus, but I'm pretty sure you can see that. It is very gloppy and messy. I find you cannot apply these directly to the lid. As someone who is busy in the mornings and wants to get things done quickly, these are not quite as user-friendly. I have to take my finger in, which gets a little bit too much product on there and kind of defeats the purpose of a doe foot applicator, in my opinion. Okay, so I've swatched the Maybelline. This is Gilded Rose, and this is Beige Luster. So, I don't know if you can see, these are more patchy and sheer in spots. You have to work with them a little bit more than you do the Armani. They don't glide on as smoothly, and it takes a little bit more work. The consistency is thicker, and I definitely feel them more on the lid. Once they dry down, the appearance changes a little bit. They make my eyelid look a little bit dry and crinkly and almost have a scaly appearance to it. I also really notice it when I go to line my eyes, whether it's pencil or shadow or liquid that I'm lining with, that crackled appearance, I have to really work with it. So just overall, the length of time it takes me to get ready, it's longer. So if you look at the doe foot on the Armani, pretty much an even amount of product comes out every time. Why was that not focused? And it's very slim. I can take it directly to the eye, like I said before. So you have a very slim doe foot, a fatter doe foot with more uneven product on the Maybelline. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about just the regular color tattoos. And I got two of these. I got Bad to the Bronze and I got Barely Branded. And I'll swatch these two. Okay, here is Barely Branded and here is Bad to the Bronze. If you look at the Armani Eye Tint in Cold Copper versus Beige Luster, those could almost be dupes. The Bad to the Bronze goes on a little bit darker, so it's not really going to be a dupe as far as color goes. Maybelline claims that these are waterproof and that they last all day. They are $7 for 0.14 ounce. So to get the same amount in the eye tints, you would need two of these. It would be about $14, still less than $39, but not the same as just paying $7. When I applied these also had a lot of slip to them, like the eye tints, but for a cream versus a liquid. So I liked that it had a lot of slip. I could blend it out easily. They did work well with other shadows. They gave me time to blend them out before they set, so I liked that. They did feel a little thicker on the lid than the eye tints, but I couldn't feel them as much on my eye like I felt the Color Tattoo eye chromes. I want to talk about wear and removal very briefly. One thing that you'll notice, if you take your finger on the eye tints, you will get some lifting. As long as you are not just completely rubbing your eyes during the day, it's not going to do anything. But if you're wearing normal eyeshadow during the day, you're not going to do that either. These will last all day long without creasing if you are not just rubbing your eyes. So, and more so than a powder eyeshadow. So I just wanted to state that just because they do that does not mean that they are going to wear away during the day. They don't. These, you do not get that lift off. They're on there like glue. Another thing I'm going to show you is if you take a makeup remover, wipe, and you go over these, the eye tints will come off with an eye makeup remover wipe. Whereas these, you have to struggle a little bit. And actually these are coming off a little bit because I just applied them the other day. I had them on walking around the house for an hour or so, and I had to get an oil-based makeup remover to get them off. So they do last a while. I'm actually glad this is coming off because I got to go to work. That's something to note, that you will need a dedicated, probably waterproof eye makeup remover, especially for these, since these are the ones that claim to be waterproof. So that's just the difference. They do all last all day without creasing. Some just look better while they're doing it. In summary, I'm going to say that I do prefer the Armani eye tints that I have been using and loving for quite a while now. I know they're pricey. $39 for 0.22 ounces of product is a lot. I don't think I've ever paid that for a single shadow or a dual shadow. I mean, that's palette pricing. So I'm aware of that. But I think with the amount of times that I've worn these, I've gotten more than my money out of them. I mean, I wear these all the time. So I will say that these are worth the money for me and for the people that have them and love them. There's a reason why. They apply very quickly and easily to the lid. They work well with each other or with other shadows. It's easy to line after you use them. It stays true to itself all day long, and it lasts all day without creasing. Now, if you cannot fathom spending $39 on a single eye product, no matter how much you'll use it, I completely get that. Between the two Maybellines, I definitely preferred the Color Tattoos versus the Color Tattoo Eye Chromes. I just feel like these applied so much better. They stayed true. Sorry about that distraction in the background. They stayed true to what they looked like upon initial application all day long without creasing. I did feel like they lasted longer without creasing with a primer than with just concealer. I didn't really like these. I don't like the way they look on the lid. I feel like they get crinkly and dry looking. I feel like they make my lids feel dry, and I'm aware of my lids during the day, and who wants to be aware of their eyelids during the day? So those are my thoughts on the Armani Eye Tints and the Maybelline Color Tattoos and Color Tattoo Eye Chromes. And I hope that that was helpful, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks.